This streamer just had a massive Christmas giveaway shut down by the police, and after the winners were left with nothing, people are now speculating if this entire thing was staged for views. Is this a Christmas giveaway or a pep rally? But today we're talking about Aiden Ross, a founding member of Kick and one of their largest streamers. He set out to host a Christmas giveaway that was supposed to be flashy, but also about giving back to the fans. And fans showed up, since they were promised prizes like, PlayStation 5s, iPhones, and cash. And the event was framed as a surprise meet and greet near the Visalia Convention Center in California. Big names were also supposed to appear, so hundreds of people showed up very quickly, expecting something like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So from what I've seen, it looks like what they walked into instead was just a mess. Because according to multiple accounts from people that were there, the event never worked in a clear or organized way. Fans reportedly began gathering hours before the start time, some arriving as early as in the morning, which is pretty typical for these kinds of events because people are going to show up early. So if you're hosting this kind of thing, you should probably account for that. Despite the event being advertised for late afternoon, people waited all day without being let inside, with little communication about what was happening or when anything would start. And as the crowd got bigger and more frustrated, the situation became harder to control. Local police were eventually brought in, not to arrest anyone, but to manage safety as hundreds of people packed into the area. Videos from the scene also show police forming lines and pushing people back as the crowd pressed forward. Then within hours, a viral clip began circulating on social media claiming that ICE had shown up and started making arrests at the giveaway. Which is a crazy statement. So, from what I can see, the uniforms say police, but there's no reported actual arrests, so it seems like the event was just so chaotic that the cops showed up and scared a lot of people to the point where they thought ICE was arresting people. Kind of like someone yelling fire in a crowded theater. People just didn't know what was going on. So, the police were potentially there because the crowd had just got too big and the event lacked the structure and security needed to actually handle it. If I were to guess, it seems like they didn't have the proper crowd control in place for an event like this either. So, no, this wasn't some government ICE raid, it was just crowd control at a poorly planned public gathering. But for many fans, that wasn't even the worst part, because as the event kept going, there were multiple ways people could win prizes. There was a truck where Aiden and his team was throwing things out of, games to play and win, and for whatever reason, a boxing match. And I don't know, making two random fans box for $5,000 sounds like a massive liability to me. Could just be me though, who knows? But like, I don't know, it kind of comes across as turning your fan base into a circus for your own entertainment rather than an actual holiday giveaway. Like did it just go down as like, hey guys, punch each other with no training and I'll give you money? And they're just kind of like, okay, yeah, we want $5,000. What could go wrong? But I guess the worst alleged part of this giveaway is that some of the winners allegedly didn't actually win anything. So several people are now claiming that they were given golden bracelets or golden tickets, which meant they were prize winners. So they then waited in line, some for over an hour, expecting to receive some sort of gift that they'd been promised. Instead, they were told to leave.
We missed out on all that. They kept us in here like, hey, give me nothing, bro. We missed out on all that.
And then to make things even worse, according to multiple people, police informed the crowd the event had to be shut down by around 10 p.m. So then when people with the winning bracelets asked if they could stay longer to collect their prizes, they were allegedly told no. So honestly, what was the point of even winning? Now, to be fair, Aiden did address this. He basically said the police said the cutoff for the venue was coming and that everyone had to leave. And Aiden also said that he was going to send the winners their prize, but to me, it just seems like another resort of really poor planning. Because when you do a live event, you have to keep track of the time. Like, he should have known when the cutoff time was, or at least his team should have. Like, people shouldn't be waiting after hours just to get their prize and then suddenly find out, oh, time ran out. Sorry guys, you guys have to leave empty-handed tonight. So I mean, at the end of the day, this is the organizer's fault. And I feel like this is obvious, but hosting an in-person event is not the same as doing a live stream or handing out digital prizes. It requires permits, crowd management, security, communication, and planning just in case something goes wrong. And in this case, the event was extremely chaotic and left a lot of people angry, but it easily also could have been dangerous. But even though some of the stuff that happened kind of makes sense, a lot of it also, in a way, seems staged. Like, what do you mean Santa was arrested? To me, this seems staged because there's no way you hire a Santa in there and the Santa acts out and gets arrested. That doesn't add up to me, at least. But by no means is hosting any type of event easy, as crowds are just extremely unpredictable, especially that fan base, because it's always the streamers of the younger audience that create riots every time they do something like this. Because it wasn't too long ago, Kai Cenat had New York City looking like a scene from Zombieland. But hey, at least from what we know, no one got hurt. So that's good, at least. So that was the chaos that I wanted to cover. A bunch of you guys emailed me saying you should cover this, so here's that video. So subscribe if you're new, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Okay, so I didn't realize that this was the video, or the last video I made this year. So real quick, Happy New Year's. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel. I'm here with one of my editors, Hans.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's, Merry Christmas. Thank you all for everything, and I'm excited to come with a whole bunch more content next year. I'm taking tomorrow off, though. Have a good one, guys. Peace.
iDubbbz's wife tells him why she doesn't want kids with him. iDubbbz doubles down on his comments about Iran.
And claims North Korea is a victim of US propaganda.
Oh my God.
Context.
Because if you do that in Iran, they can arrest you. You know that?
They're going to come find me and they're going to drone strike me. The Iranian government will drone strike me if I say mean things.
What a stupid bitch. He's worried for his family.
He's planning on going back, and if he wants to travel back, he's got to be careful with what he says.
Bro.
I love how you're saying this sarcastically as if it's not actually the truth.
They just want to fucking perpetuate the American propaganda. We get enough of it.
Oh my God. What's the American propaganda now?
Iran sucks, yes. Because they do it with North Korea as well.
No way. No way.
Well, actually, what am I saying? They're doing it with Somalia right now as well.
Oh
right?
my
That's been the whole thing in the news lately. America the greatest.
Like, yeah, obviously Somalia is a PvP server and most of America's not. There's a bit of a difference there.
Especially today when people are getting arrested for tweets and people getting fired for quoting Charlie Kirk.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
North Korea. This guy, iDubbbz's wife, tells us the reason why she doesn't want to have kids with him.
I find it fascinating because, like, if I look at you, even in, like, the viewfinder, extremely masculine chin, which is also why I like the buzz cut, because it, like, emphasizes your chin, and your, like, heavy brow. Part of the reason why I don't want to have a child with you is because I'm terrified if we have a girl that she's gonna have all your masculine features.
Brow. Isn't that interesting? I think about that a lot.
I think the combination would be bad for a woman.
I think you're tripping.
I don't know.
Should I just, I feel like, honestly, I watch some of these clips, I think to myself, hasn't he suffered enough?
I'm going to kick you out if you apologize for that, by the way.
Hasn't he suffered enough at this point? I mean, I don't know, guys. Yeah, I feel sorry for him. Yeah, I'm almost starting to feel sorry for the guy here.
Well, I don't. Fuck him.
I just want to ask him if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Because since I've known you, you've always had, like, IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well.
They're trying to get a hold on the narrative around what's happening over in Minnesota. The more they try to disprove Nick Shirley, the worse they make it.
Juicy Booch is booching it up. really isn't much of anything to put on at this point. What the fuck? Anybody actually on like that?
They're correct, right? Like,
Yep.
because if you can put a post out on Twitter and get 20 likes, what you said must have been
Idiot.
Hey, yo, what's up? What's up, Blaqksheep?
You need anything? You for anything?
Good, what's new?
Nothing much. Just chilling. How are you doing today? I'm talking to Blaqksheep on YouTube. I'm streaming. Yes, you guys are on my hearing aids.
Good, happy new year.
Happy New Year's to you too, bro.
Wait, you are live in Pevk.
What? You're live in the BC? So I'm using my hearing aids to listen to the BC chat. But yes, I'm in the BC.
Yeah, separated audio.
Yep.
Go to the village.
You go love. I like.
Somebody just ran past me and didn't even kill me. Holy shit. I got lucky there.
Brad. But they're dead. I put some pile. Are they? Where are you? Where do you think that came from? Here, up here? Up there, they're outside. Oh, you just maybe. Entering a non-verbal agreement. Adult agree. They said that people robbers. Nah, I was just responding to what he had said. That's funny though. You said that. Just like, oh great, there we go. I got an answer stored for that one. They were close. Holy shit. What's up, darling? You didn't go to the mall today. Yeah? Really? I feel like you like that shit. That's like your thing to do. Yeah, your nails done. Yeah. I mean, like, at least you're, like, smart and do it both. That's very true. But I mean, like, it makes you happy to have, like, you know, right? Like you, enjoy that stuff. That is asking. Yeah, you left your phone. Holy shit. Yeah, I was about to say, you didn't even shoot at them first. Yeah, that's a response. You could have just hit that bribe. Not that much.
And Islamist freaks trying to game end the lives of people that call them out. So this video is almost like a public service announcement because it's really important for people to know how dangerous it's getting, specifically for Nick Shirley. You might recognize him. He's the guy that did the super viral video exposing all the leering centers in Minnesota of Somalis committing infinite fraud jutsu. What? We imported an entire community of 255,000 pirates. And they're pillaging our land. Now, I personally didn't see this coming at all, and I just wanted to say, as just a disclaimer, I really hate that the 255,420 Somalis that aren't assimilating to culture, they're really ruining it for the other 30 Somalis that are assimilating it to the culture, and that's honestly pretty terrifying. So this guy, Nick Shirley, made this super viral video exposing the Leering Centers. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Leering Center, don't worry. We're gonna talk about the Leering Center. They responded, and it's diabolical. So 134 million views later, this guy's life is being threatened everywhere. They're attacking him in public. CNN is dropping hit pieces on him, investigating him instead of investigating the fraud. And he is actually getting harassed constantly. He's getting unbelievable amounts of death threats, and I hope he's okay.
They're so mad. The Somalians are so mad. Because can you imagine, for years you're at the dinner table talking with your family about how everything's good. Oh, we don't need to worry because the government and whatnot. I mean,
yeah, we don't need to worry about our infinite fraud because the government will just call them racist. The government will just call anyone that exposes us as racist.
81% of these people are on welfare, but on top of that, they're collecting millions of dollars for these companies. Tax exempt, by the way, especially the daycares. So can you imagine how...
Yeah, so tax exempt millions of dollars that are being used to funnel it towards Somalian terrorist organizations in Somalia, as well as funding Somali politicians, as well as funding individuals, all from our dime. Tax exempt. Truly diabolical. And the government turns a blind eye to this. Simply put, they turn a blind eye to it because they import infinite Somalis to vote for them. The government gets the votes, and they get infinite money that we work for.
Mad they are now. Like, that's why they're, right now, there's, like, people are so upset. Like, there's, like, bounties on here in Minnesota because people are so upset.
They put bounties on Nick Shirley. Be careful out there, guys.
As far as the fraud that's being exposed, because they know their time's up and they know everyone's just sick and tired of this happening inside their own state and across America.
What have some of those threats been?
Yeah, there was apparently like a bolo that they used.
I keep hearing
That's
bangs.
the word that some people told me was on me. And
hearing
I
bang
can't reveal too
noises.
much just because I don't want to reveal.
Keep hearing
but
bang
like,
noises.
yeah, lots of messages,
I
death
don't know
threats,
where it's
obviously
coming
on social media, and
I mean, I get that threat, so I'm sure he got
But
way
you're not
more.
hearing anything inside, right?
it's just not the most safe thing for me to be moving around freely right now.
Yeah, so the left is angrier at this guy for exposing hundreds of millions of dollars of fraud than they're upset at the people that were brought into our country against our will to rape and pillage our land. Understand where we're at. Bolo means be on the lookout. So anywho, before we get to the Leering Center, you have to understand. So Nick Shirley, so Elon Musk actually retweeted this because fraudsters want to kill him for telling the truth, which is just completely accurate. So this is wild. Nick Shirley revealed posts that he's been, like, messages he's been getting constantly. This is gonna be you, April 27th, 2026, in a muddy ditch alongside highway with a specific marker on the highway. Enjoy
Maybe
your last couple of months, buddy. Now,
bang
again, I get
bangs
death threats all
for
the
a
time,
reason.
so I'm not surprised to see this, but it's scary. It's scary as fuck, especially because, I mean, I sit here and I talk shit on the internet. I recognize that he is in a great deal more danger than I am, especially from, you know, violent, inbred people. Not trying to be controversial or anything, but one of the side effects of inbreeding is violence. You know, the chances of you being violent increases by 4 times if you're inbred, and Somalis fuck their cousins. Not trying to be controversial or anything, I'm just saying what it is, alright? So, it got worse. Leftists are threatening are threatening Nick Shirley, calling him the next Charlie Kirk. I'm not just talking about the Somalians, I'm talking about leftists. Understand this. Leftist Americans are furious that this guy exposed people stealing our money. Do you understand how insane that is? And leftists are saying, you're going to be the next Charlie Kirk. We're going to Kirk you.
Have you gotten any threats? Like actual death threats?
Yeah, well, in person and also.
Can you tell me
online.
about that? Like, are they messaging you saying, we're going to get you? What are they saying to you?
Yeah, like they're saying, oh, like Kirk, you're going to be Kirk.
You're going to be Kirked. That's what they're saying to you.
Yeah, like you're the next, you'll be the next Kirk.
That's terrifying, man. You know, that's horrible. Like, this is a 23-year-old kid, all right? And, you know, he went out there looking at the fraud, and because the fraud is following conservative talking points, now all of a sudden, all the leftists think that he's that he's the next Charlie Kirk. Because let's be real, this is going to radicalize a fuck ton of people that are on the fence about politics. Of course it's going to radicalize them. Of course it's going to introduce the idea that mass immigration is actually fucking bullshit. And now he has to go through this, man. He has to look over his shoulder in every single one of his videos. He will never be able to enter another rally unnoticed.
And it's just like, are you kidding me? It's not even, like, I hate what's happening right now. Like, I feel bad for my family, honestly, because it's like, yeah, like, we didn't do anything wrong. And yet you guys are coming after me like I'm some sort of villain, right? So I'm like, my little sister's getting phone calls. I'm like,
bro,
why are you guys doing this?
Your little sister's getting phone calls?
Yeah, from, like, the news. I'm like, geez, don't talk to my family. I mean, some news in India, they doxed my home, they doxed my dad, they doxed my...
Oh my God.
It was really weird. I haven't even told my dad about that because I just don't want to even bother him.
Well, he knows now.
But, like, they put it, like, it's just like, are you guys kidding me? Like, why are you guys coming after somebody for going against fraud? Like, I didn't make this
That's the point. This isn't even like a partisan issue. You see, I'm like Islamophobe. So, like, I get it. But he literally just exposed fraud, all right? Like, come on, guys. How could you be pro-fraud?
If I had a left issue, I just showed you guys that fraud was happening, and now you guys are coming after me. You're saying, yo, I'll be the next Kirk.
And by the way, I already made a video covering the leftist responses, including, you know, Hassan Piker said it's Israel that did this, obviously. Destiny said that there isn't even really any fraud. The fraud's not even really happening, guys. You're just all racist. And literally, that is what these guys are doing. It's crazy.
You're literally stopping at intersections and coming after me and trying to attack me. Like, why are you so evil? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you defending fraud? Do you like money being stolen? No.
Yes, they're socialists. Socialism is stealing money from people that earn it to give it to people that don't. What are you talking about? Of course they like fraud. Obviously they like fraud.
What are you doing? You're a racist. No, I'm not a racist. I'm just telling you what the facts are. You guys are stealing money from the people that are working hard here inside the United States. I was literally talking to a black man, and then the Somali man comes out, and he's also black, so I can't understand what they're thinking calling me a racist. I'm having a great conversation with a black.
Because that's the weapon. That's their weapon, man.
And then another black man comes up and he's...
I can't believe Israel would import infinite Somalis into the United States. I can't believe it.
Somali descent. And he comes and attacks me for being a racist. I'm like, no, I'm not a racist. It's so stupid. And that's why the fraud has been able to happen for so long, because people like Tim Waltz are afraid to be called racist. afraid to be called racist.
Damn.
And me and my generation, we're over it. Like, we don't care. Like, we do not care. Call us a racist. I do not care.
That's right.
'Cause I'm not a racist.
That's where we're at, man.
We're just seeing that prices of homes are so expensive. I don't even have a friend that can afford a home.
True.
People aren't getting married.
Well, we're importing people that are buying up the houses. You have to understand. Not only are they buying the houses, but the government is basically paying them to take houses. They're getting houses for free. Do you understand how crazy this is, man? Do you understand the insanity? Americans can't buy houses because the government is giving free houses to be fake daycare centers and millions of dollars to Somali scammers. Holy crap, dude. Dude, I'm telling you, man, nothing makes you more racist than a leftist. These guys are fucking crazy.
Because of how expensive things are, and we're paying so much money in taxes. Most kids are. I'm lucky because I didn't go to college, but most kids are starting their life off behind the starting line. They're thousands of dollars in the debt, and so yes, we're upset because you guys are stealing millions of dollars and getting rich, and then you're bragging about the white man working on.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Not only do they steal our money, but then they just show up and they bitch. They'll take our money and they bitch about how we're the bad guys. Holy crap. Oh my God. Like the audacity.
TikTok, who's actually the racist? You're the racist. You're the one saying the white man. You work, white woman. You work, white man. We're sick of it. Nobody cares. Like, stop committing fraud. If you're gonna be here, be happy to be here and work hard like we're working hard. Whether you're black, Mexican, Asian, white, just go and work. And don't start playing this victim card and start trying to make things political about.
Dude, the funny thing is, there's nothing that he said in this clip that, in my opinion, is controversial. I don't think this is a right-wing perspective or a left-wing perspective. The idea that don't commit fraud is now controversial because the left is now pro-fraud. Dude, I've seen everything. I've seen everything. These leftists cry about socialism, all right, and everyone should pay more taxes to the government, but it turns out the government is already having millions in taxes that they're funding Somali terrorists with. So let me get this straight. The left wants us to pay more taxes, but it turns out they have extra billions of taxes that they have to throw at retards that they imported. Do you understand the insanity that we're dealing with? Holy shit.
Money, for instance, or don't get mad at people for making money. Like, that's why America is the greatest country in the world, is because of capitalism. And we've had 250 years to do it. All these other countries had thousands of years to do it, but they didn't do it.
Look, you want to hear my nuclear take? The United States of America is the global superpower, and it only existed for 250 years. Somalia existed for 2,000 years, and they still live in mud huts. Okay, they have no government. It's mud huts. All right, they're fucking savages, fucking their cousins, and throwing poop at each other. That might sound racist to Somalis, but look, I wish Somali nothing but success, and I want all the Somalis to make Somalia a wonderful, even better place. All right, will it happen? I'll be real. The IQ is 67 on average, so that's not very good. But I want only success for the Somalis, mostly the people in Somaliland, the superior Somalis. I did dude, Somaliland is the greatest lore of all time. I've already made a video talking about that, so we can't talk about that right now, but it's insane. They declared independence. They're making a democratic, anti-Islamic society. Well, you know, not being governed by Sharia law. It's insane. So anyway, anywho. So Nick Shirley dropped this video. This is the 42-minute video. It has 134 million views. Everyone's talking about it. And CNN decided, whoa, we have to start investigating. No, they don't have to investigate the Somali fraud. They have to investigate Nick Shirley, the guy who made the viral video.
Done enough. I mean, they would say, look, these fraud cases have been going on, but they've already done like 80 indictments. The cases have been going on, you know, for years.
And I show up one day in Minnesota and go to all these daycares, no children. They're receiving millions of dollars. We uncovered nearly $110 million in fraud in one day.
How do you know?
Yeah. So then, how did that happen then?
That all the allegations that you're making are true.
How do I know that they're true? Well, we showed you guys what was happening, and then you guys can go ahead and make your own analysis.
We're coming, so we can make our own analysis. Are you 100% sure you're true?
Yeah, I am 100% sure I'm true.
CNN is.
Oh yeah, you're gonna let us make our own analysis? Well, are you true? Dude, I have to show. I'll show you what CNN does in a second. Okay. So, but before we even get to that, not even exaggerating. Before we even get to that, I have to show you I have to show you the Somalis mobbing Nick Shirley in public, harassing him and honestly threatening his life in public.
Get the fuck out of here. You cannot come in here. We don't care. We don't know where it is. Get out. That's not your job. You don't know that. Get out. He's recording. Get out of here.
Hey.
This is crazy.
They're recording. Move. I didn't give you permission to record. What kind of looking for?
Why you come here? Why you have permission? No. Get out of here.
So this is what we call roaches scurrying away from the light.
You have to stop. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you...
Why does he have to work for someone?
Who do you work for? I go for this guy. Who do you work for? Nick Shirley. I don't care about Nick. That's Nick Shirley. Stop here. Stop here. Get out of here. Yes.
Would you like to give a statement, sir? And see, you guys say I can't film, you guys film me. You can do that. You can film here.
You don't care about the state of Minnesota or what?
Where's advanced mobility at? That's all we're asking.
This doesn't even exist. Advanced mobility?
Right, they're here looking for some sort of daycare center or whatever.
Why not? Why? I grew up in Minneapolis. I don't have to go.
They're telling him to leave Minneapolis. Bro, he lives there. Not Nick Shirley, but the other guy.
Did you grow up here? Here? Why do you care? I was born in Minneapolis. You're telling me to go to the white place.
Bro, imagine. These people get imported here to have a better life. As refugees, and then they literally have the audacity to tell you to leave. Holy shit.
What? White business? Are you a girl? How?
Yeah, so then they said, you're a white guy, you're a white guy, I'll do gun, and that's how it went, basically. So, anywho, there's a lot going on now. The movement that Nick Shirley started is absolutely insane. And I'm going to show you in just a second. First, I have to show you this breaking report from CNN. All right, are you ready? Are you ready to see, honestly, one of the scariest statements I've ever seen? Just in, CNN reports that they've called Minnesota daycare centers, and most didn't answer. But one of them confirmed that they're not committing fraud. This might be the worst statement I've ever heard in my life. Well, that clears that up. Case closed, Chad. Case closed. CNN called a lot of them. None of them answered, but one answered. And
perfectly placed behind my seat for some reason.
that one confirmed that they're not doing fraud. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to the bottom of this. Happy New Year. We got to the bottom of the fraud. So I have to show you, man, how like honestly pathetic and terrifying CNN's actual coverage of this was. So this is CNN's full segment. All right, people. I don't want to get accused of cutting anything out. This is CNN's full segment. I'm gonna show it to you because CNN finally talks about the Somali fraud situation, except they are literally only talking about Nick Shirley, not the actual fraud.
We're from CNN. Can we talk to you? This is MAGA YouTuber Nick Shirley. Back in daycare in Minnesota, he alleged was a fraudulent facility in a now viral video.
People are going to say this is a left or right issue, but no, fraud is fraud. And so I'm not out here trying to put a twist on things.
Shirley's viral video, released over the weekend, in which he says he's uncovering tens of millions of dollars in fraud at Minneapolis daycares run by the...
Wait, did she call him a MAGA YouTuber? I didn't even pick up on that. Hold up. Chat's saying that.
But no, fraud is fraud. And so I'm not...
Now viral video. Daycare in Minnesota, he alleged was... We're from CNN. Can we talk to you? This is MAGA YouTuber Nick Shirley.
Oh my God! They discredit and label you right off the bat. Bro! Holy crap, I didn't even pick up on that. They're so smooth with it. MAGA YouTuber Nick Shirley. Oh my lord.
Trying to put a twist on things.
Shirley's viral video, released over the weekend, in which he says he's uncovering tens of millions of dollars in fraud at Minneapolis daycares run by the Somali community, was retweeted by Elon Musk and Vice President J.D. Vance. In the video, Shirley tries to open locked doors and...
Tries to open locked doors? It's the worst, most bad faith possible way to describe what happened in that video. Nick Shirley goes around trying to open locked doors. Shows literal footage of him knocking on the door.
Talk to people at various daycares he claims are frauds.
He claims they're frauds! Dude, we have eyes though. Like, the reason why this video is so good is because anyone with eyes knows that they're frauds. Alright? I already covered this video. If you didn't see it yet, you definitely should either watch his video or watch my video covering it. But the reality is, like, this is absolute insane. This is the craziest thing ever. Nick Shirley tries to break into places to see children. I can't believe it.
Did you come during their normal operating hours when you came to visit?
I came at 11 a.m., I believe, and I also came the following day later in the day. The point of...
All right, so he showed up twice, all right? The first time at 11 a.m., which is normal hours. The second time, a little bit later in the day, because maybe that was like lunch break or something. Both times, no kids.
It's not whether or not I came at the right time of their operation hours. The point is that
I'm
blacked out
already
doors.
there.
They can't give you any information. You call that number, no one answers. I wasn't trying to go inside. And there should be a way for somebody to actually be able to call that number and somebody to be able to answer. These aren't real businesses.
But surely you don't think a daycare should just be unlocked. You shouldn't be able to just walk into it.
It's such a bad faith question, man. The media is such an actual joke. Like, it's an actual propaganda machine. Holy shit.
Daycare.
Why should it be locked, guys? I don't understand. Dude, look at the building. Literally look at the building. It's blacked out doors. There's no kids. All right, it's not operational. Like, holy shit. But shouldn't daycare centers actually be locked?
No, every daycare is locked.
And so, okay, you bring up a fair point. Then why can't they actually give me information how to enroll a child?
Federal law enforcement has...
Notice how they don't answer that question. Notice how they just don't answer that question. Not only are the doors locked, but also literally no one is there. It's empty. There are no people. There's no reception. There's no phone number to reach them. And they cut off the clip. They're like, daycares are locked. That's pretty bad. And then they literally cut the clip while they're interviewing this guy to go to their coverage.
Investigating fraud in Minnesota for several years. Both Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel said on social media they've indicted dozens of defendants. DHS has posted multiple videos of agents they say are conducting a massive fraud investigation.
Do you think that federal law enforcement hasn't done enough? I mean, they would say, look, these fraud cases have been going
No, literally no.
on. But they've already done like 80 indictments. The cases have been going on, you know, for years.
And then I show up one day in Minnesota and go to all these daycares, no children. They're receiving millions of dollars. We uncovered nearly $110 million in fraud in one day.
Do you think that they're doing enough? No. I'm a 23-year-old retard, and I exposed $100 million of fraud in one day. So no, obviously I don't think they're doing enough.
How do you know that all the allegations that you're making are true?
How do I know that they're true? Well, we showed you guys what was happening, and then you guys can go ahead and make your own analysis.
We're coming so we can make our own analysis. Are you 100% sure you're true?
Yeah, I am sure I'm true.
CNN is looking into Shirley.
All right, so now it's time for CNN to actually do the hard research. Boots on the ground journalism from CNN, a actual respectable news organization.
Hi, my name's Whitney Wild.
Also, are you sure you're true is not actually a real sentence.
I'm a correspondent for CNN.
We reached out to several of the daycares featured in the now viral video.
Oh boy, they reached out to the daycares that were already tipped off that they're under investigation.
Only one daycare facility answered and said
only one actually answered.
They are a legitimate business.
And they said they're legitimate. CNN, boots on the ground journalism, called the places that were already tipped off that they were under investigation. None of them answered except for one. The one that did answer confirmed that they actually aren't fraud. Honest, this is good stuff, man. This is incredible. This is amazing.
Have you seen the videos, you know, purporting that some of these daycares don't have kids inside?
Minnesota Republicans say
it doesn't even show their answers. It just shows their question. It doesn't even show the answers.
Despite the new focus from the
dude, CNN, like this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Trump administration, they have been sounding the alarm on fraud for years.
You know, we have talked about fraud. We have gotten stories. We've tried to.
And then they interview some random people, and they never actually show anything else. This cannot be real life. Holy shit. Asmongold responded to this. Keep in mind that not only does Nick Shirley pose a threat to CNN's narrative and political goals, but he also represents an existential threat to their business. Understanding this is crucial to why CNN and other mainstream media is trying to delegitimize him. This is completely true. This is 1000% true. Literally not exaggerating. This is completely accurate. Because CNN's a joke. This literally exposed CNN as a complete and utter fraudulent enterprise, and the entire media is a joke and fraud. Like, there is no world that we even need mainstream media to push their lies and their bullshit when a random 20-year-old kid with a camera is unironically better than all of them. Completely and utterly exposed in the most diabolical way. Now look at CBS trying to debunk Nick Shirley, because it's not just CNN trying to debunk Nick Shirley. He's an existential threat for these guys. An existential threat to actual media, because he's actually reporting what normal people see instead of some sort of propaganda message that they're trying to get across. So this is CBS trying to debunk Nick Shirley's report. And this is awesome. This is great. He accidentally proves that Nick Shirley was right.
Is this daycare committing fraud?
No.
Bro walks into a daycare, are you committing fraud? Holy shit, dude, what is this? Literally, what is this?
No, we're not committing fraud.
No fraud. What are you talking about? Zero fraud here. What do you mean?
Security footage from the same day Shirley was here. According to the timestamps in the videos, this woman takes a young child into the center at around 9 a.m. that day, about 3 hours before Shirley arrives at the door closer to the street. Within the hour after Shirley leaves, a woman arrives at the other door with a stroller.
Oh my god, an hour after Shirley leaves, a kid was there. Damn, they literally got him.
Her family heads inside a few hours later.
Is this daycare committing fraud?
No, we're not committing
Yeah, let's show that footage again.
fraud.
Yeah. No. You ready for the twist? Ready for the twist? You ready? This learning center.
Hand over here from where I'm
this learning center, ladies and gentlemen, is getting paid for 40 kids. 40 kids. CBS tried to debunk it by saying there were 4 kids. This is a learning center getting paid for 40 kids. It's still fraud. If this is true, it's still fraud. Now, you have to understand how insane this is. People are showing up at Minnesota daycares yelling, "Where are the children?"
They're recording me. Where are the kids? Where are the kids?
Bro started a movement,
Most
dude.
profitable daycare in Minnesota. Not a bad business. I just want to learn how to start a daycare.
Absolute insanity, dude. It's crazy. Now, according to Polymarket, it seems like there's a 91% chance of criminal charges going up against Tim Waltz, because Tim Waltz responded to the entire hit piece. Are you ready? By attacking Nick Shirley as a racist for his investigation, and he blamed Trump. I will show that in a separate video because I think that's truly diabolical. But I have to show you more about the Leering Center, because this twist is insane. So, more than 40 daycares were discovered in Columbus, Ohio, run by Somali Education, earned over $14 million in 2024 alone. I am going to show you more fraud in my next video. I just wanted to do this one to show you what Nick Shirley directly did, and how they're literally threatening his life right now. But even scarier than that, and this is crazy. So, Minnesota man loses his mind during Nick Shirley's investigation, right?
How much money are you? How much money are you making?
Dreamline Security.
How much money are you making off
money off of YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Exactly. So you're making money off of sensationalizing.
That's my job.
And attacking the Somali community.
I'm not attacking you guys. We're asking.
I'll tell you the reason why this is happening. All right. Let me tell you the reason why you're attacking
fraud,
this.
Correct?
Yes.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fake
This is
fraud.
absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right. And
This
us
is like
being
literally
from Africa.
it's so nice that people are seeing what I see. Like, I've been seeing this for years, you know? But now people are like, bro, stop with the Islamophobia card. It's like, yo, we don't want you to steal our money. That's Islamophobic. You're doing this because I'm Muslim. You are attacking us. Dude, it is unreal.
This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here,
No, it's not.
change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, we don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
They all do this. They all do this. Oh my God.
No. Because when I go onto your comments, when I go onto your comments, what I see is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
Yo, this guy's kind of spitting.
So
that's a comment.
You're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps. Just a big job, all right? You're sensationalizing, all right? Something that can listen.
I have never met bigger victims in my entire life than Muslims after they start shit. Never. I don't think there's a single group that I've ever seen that's like this. You know, Hamas starts a war against Israel. Israel fights back, and all the Palestinians are the victims, clearly in the war that they started. And then you get these guys here. Like, bro, 9/11 happened. Dude, Zohran Mamdani was elected as mayor of New York City, saying that the biggest victim of 9/11 was his aunt. His aunt who was getting Islamophobic looks in the subway. Dude, do you understand, bro? Hey, we're noticing that you're doing billions of dollars of fraud. You are trying to deport all the Muslims and put them in concentration camps. It's like, holy shit, this isn't working anymore, bro. Stop.
Something that can jeopardize the safety and the protection of the Somali. If anything,
It's like, you're not allowed to expose me for fraud because it'll make people Islamophobic. Do you understand how crazy this is? Like, oh my lord. You're not allowed to expose me for stealing billions of dollars.
Yeah, he's still over here
because if you do, people might become Islamophobic.
happens to the Somali community. Listen, I'm not doing anything. I'm not physically touching you. I'm not physically. No, I'm not physically touching you.
This is fraud.
What you're doing, what you're doing, when I go into your comments, people who hate Muslims, want us out of here for being Muslim, are using your material. Islamophobes use your material.
Who cares? What's that your business?
Material. People who hate Islam use your material. Say to us, we don't want you here. Change the constitution. But
listen, guys. Fraud is just part of the Somali community. If you hate fraud, then you hate Somalis. Damn, that's a good point. That's a pretty good point. I couldn't have worded it better myself. Wow, this is just, why do you hate us? This is our culture that you're attacking. Oh my god, dude.
Guess what? Let me tell you something.
That's a firestorm.
You know, what you do, you hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate
you hate Muslims.
You hate us? You should let us
Yeah, he's gonna be over by my body right now.
You should let us burn your churches. And if you are upset at Muslims, then you are Islamophobic.
Why are you
every time, don't criticize terrorism. If you criticize terrorism, then quite literally, you're being Islamophobic. I'm noticing that you criticize terrorism and someone in your comment said something bad, so you should just not criticize terrorism now.
Attacking us. Are we the only community that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about fraud.
Are we the only community that...
Hot take, every single community that does fraud should be cooked.
It's fraud. Are we the...
Especially the ones that we're importing into our country.
Only community that does this.
This is about fraud.
All right, there's what, 300 Somali providers in all of Minnesota?
There's actually...
I'm not... Do you speak English? He doesn't even speak English. Listen, let me tell you something.
See, this isn't a racist.
Listen.
It's about fraud.
Yeah, it's a firestorm.
What, 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a...
Even it's 2,000 providers.
Okay,
you are
sir.
80,000 people because of fucking 2,000 providers?
Because of just 2,000 providers? You want to hear my nuclear take? If I knew that in a Jewish community, people were exposed for this level of fraud, the Jews would call them out. All right? They would. If this would happen in a Muslim community, for some reason it doesn't happen because their allegiance to the tribe comes before their allegiance to the nation by far, not even close. And it's insane, you know. Oh no, he's exposed for fraud. Quick, burn the Constitution. There might be Islamophobia.
Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
Are you stupid? You're stupid. Every time you call me out for robbing you, every time you call me out for robbing you, you get more people to not like me. Yeah.
You're sensationalizing.
Dude, no one causes Islamophobia like Muslims. It's crazy, bro. Like, all you have to do is be like, you're so right, investigate us. Every single Somali that's doing fraud should actually be deported. You know, like, for real, that should be your response. The fact that you're running defense for it instead literally proves why Islamophobia needs to exist.
What about if a mass shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you.
Well, dude, he's literally saying if Muslims get murdered now, their blood is on your hands. Holy shit, bro. Crazy. For the record, now that 2025 is over, I can officially say it. There was not one Muslim killed in a hate crime for all of 2025. Not one. Thank God, because I don't want anyone to get killed, obviously. But thank God, not a single one. The same cannot be said for Jews. The same cannot be said for Christians. The same cannot be said for Hindus. All right? But it could be said for Muslims. Straight facts. Facts are facts.
It will be because of you.
That's not true. They were killed by other Muslims. Yeah, but not in America. I'm talking about in America.
If any Somali gets hurt in Minnesota, it's because of Nick fucking Shirley.
If any Somali gets hurt, it's because of you. Dude, it's like, it's all emotional blackmail. All of it. Right? Don't expose us for fraud or you're making Islamophobia happen. And if I get killed, my blood's on your hands. And, you know, you're putting Muslims in concentration camps by calling us out for fraud.
Any Somali, if one single Somali gets hurt, it's because of you. Sensationalize this. You son of a bitch. Sensationalize this.
Wow, you're
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood. Get the fuck out of our neighborhood.
My neighborhood. This dude showed up here 5 minutes ago, and he's telling people that have been in America for years to get out of his neighborhood.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood. We don't want you here.
Oh, your neighborhood.
Get the fuck out of here. You want clicks? You want clicks? Clicks.
Dude, I'm actually worried for Nick Shirley, man.
You wanted YouTube? You wanted YouTube clicks? You got YouTube clicks. Now get the fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the
Get the
transportation
fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the...
You racist motherfucker. Say I don't
You racist.
want Muslims here. Say I don't want Muslims here. Say it. Say I want to change the Constitution.
No, I don't
and I
want
want to change freedom of religion. And I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota. Kick them out. I was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me. That is what you are arguing for.
Okay.
Change the Constitution. Then.
I'm all for
Get
it.
the fuck out of my community.
Let's do it, guys.
fuck out of our
Good
community.
idea.
Get
Damn,
the
I didn't
fuck
think
out
of that.
community. Get the fuck out of here.
I think anyone that defends the fraud should also be denaturalized and deported. I think that's a pretty good idea, actually.
Stupid fucking idiot.
Yo, anyone that defends the fraud gets deported too. What do we think, guys? Damn, this guy made some good points. I have to reconsider my thought process here. He made some pretty good points. Now, so he responded. So Nick Shirley responded to this. Part 2 from Minnesota coming soon. Holy shit. And the memes, there's a part 2. There's a part 2. All right, so now we have to talk about the Leering Center, okay? Because one of the main points in Nick Shirley's video was the Quality Leering Center, where essentially he showed up to a childcare center, and it was literally misspelled the word learning on the sign. They called it the Leering Center, not the Learning Center. So the Quality Leering Center. Now, you have to understand the lore behind the Quality Leering Center, all right? You have to know what's going on. It is pivotal to the future of your life to understand what went on in the Quality Leering Center, okay? Get ready. So first, they came up with excuse after excuse onto why the Leering Center is actually good. All right, they're running defense for the Leering Center constantly. This is my favorite story arc of the entire Somali drama, because this is like the actual 67 IQ scam. So the first response was the following.
I talked to a mother dropping off her kids.
I take my kids here, 2 o'clock to 10. Yeah, there's a lot of kids inside.
The first response was, Nick Shirley didn't come at operating hours. Because you see, this Leering Center actually works from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Quality Leering Center is on Somali time zone. I can't believe it, bro. Bro, no. First of all, no, that's not happening, okay? Get the fuck out of here, man. There's no Learning Center. No Leering Centers are open from 2 to 10. So that was the first response, all right? That was the first response. Then they asked another Somali lady, why is it called a Leering Center? Why did they misspell the sign?
Why was the word learning misspelled?
That was a printing error.
Printing error.
And how long was it that way?
I don't know.
Years.
But the printer, now that you guys have put the printer at bay, now the printer is reprinting that up again.
Now that you put the printer at bay, ladies and gentlemen, the printer has returned to fix the job.
So sometimes it's just hard to get printers to come out in the wintertime.
It's hard to get printers to come out in the winter time, which is why it was spelled wrong for years. All right, anyway, it gets better.
Other changes to put up new signage and things of that nature. Because we had different types of weather elements going on.
There were weather elements going on, ladies and gentlemen. Weather elements have stopped the printer from spelling the word correctly for years.
It was just delayed. But for the simple fact, just because it is a misprint.
Right, just because of the misprint, it doesn't mean there's fraud, obviously.
Everyone is taking that out of content.
Yeah.
It looks like it's fixed now, though. And who
Would you look at that? They actually found a way to fix it now that the winter elements have passed or something.
are these people here?
People.
And they show up.
People, American.
People, American. We just have American children leering here. You know, classic. I'm really glad that you're here, news media, for showing up. Thank you. Here's just a bus of people, Americans, that are, look at these Americans that are coming here to be students to leer in this school. Just to be clear, all right? Just to be clear, they got fake kid students here to make it look like it's operational after they got exposed. I told you this would be good. Look, kids, American.
That looks like some daycare kids.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know why y'all thinking
they're here to leer.
Are not coming. Like y'all are out here like they're not, like kids are not coming.
Yeah, they're not. They literally got a bunch of fake kids to leer here while after they got exposed. Now, You ready for the twist? This gets even funnier, all right? The Quality Leering Center made a response video explaining how they're only open from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
What would you say to Nick Shirley, the YouTuber, if he was standing in front of you
I have
right
nothing
now?
against him himself, but I do have something against the rhetoric. It's if you're gonna be a
The rhetoric.
Give me a
have a
second.
moral compass. Like, do
We'll be
what you
right
do
back,
correctly.
everybody.
If you catch business that are fraud, no one here is with that. Like, we don't support that as a community. I don't support that myself. I was born and raised here. I'm not for fraud.
Okay, dude.
Notion that, hey, a certain batch of somebody got caught, so all of them support it. It's like, no one, if in any community, any mishaps that happen, the rest of the community obviously doesn't want that to happen. It's a stain on all of our names.
Except you're literally all running defense for each other.
You guys can see, we don't want that to happen. We don't take part in that. We don't like that. We don't want that in our communities. But just to say, hey, a certain company got caught, so they must all do it, and I feel like that's what he's doing. I'm not a fan.
2 to 10 p.m. may not be your typical daycare hours.
Yep.
Can you explain why it is that
The
you're
reason
offering
for
that?
that is we're after school hours. So most of our clients, not most of our clients, all of our clients is after school hours. So schools, earliest dismissal would be 2:15 to 2:30, and the latest dismissal would be up to like 4:30ish, 4:40ish. So that's when our kids come to us. We don't have anyone in the morning. We deal with only parents and clients that come to us after school. So that's why ours are 2 to 10 p.m. If we try to do...
It's an after-school Leering Center from 2 to 10 p.m.
Once again, I'd like to conclude, the YouTuber that was making the claims, you were here earlier today. I came here at 1 o'clock. You were here. Where are you now? You claim we're closed. You claim we're a fraud. Where are you? Why are you not here right now?
Bro, it literally says Leering Center on the sign as he's explaining how it's actually an after-school Leering Center from 2 to 10 p.m.
It's like you're trying to put out a certain message about a certain group. I'm not going to make that claim. I don't want to make that claim without me knowing him personally, but that's what it's...
I'm not calling you racist, but...
He's doing from
But
the
you're
front.
racist.
Where are you right now? He was here earlier. He was recording us. We had no issue with it. We told him, hey, just get off our property. You can record. Now,
we had no issue. We just told him he had to leave. So yeah, anyway, great excuse. Great excuse, honestly. But it gets better. It gets better. So you're telling me the Leering Center Google page said they were open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Yes, Dave. But then after Nick Shirley showed up and no kids were there during the day, they changed the Google page to 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yes. And now we're learning that they're only licensed to operate until 6 p.m. Correct, Dave. That has been the lore here. So the Google page said it was open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. All right. Nick Shirley showed up in the morning. They changed the Google page to 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. The actual licensing says they're only allowed to be open until 6 p.m. That was the story of the Leering Center, ladies and gentlemen. And I think, honestly, it's one of the greatest stories in the history of Leering, quite literally. But if I were to tell you that it got even funnier, would you believe me? Would you believe me if I told you that this actually got even funnier, ladies and gentlemen? Well, the Minnesota Department of Children Commissioner Tiki Brown claims the Quality Leering Center closed down last week, which explains why there were no children when Nick Shirley visited. Today, however, the Quality Learning Center was packed with kids to show the camera.
Raises about... Is there fraud going on here? No, it's a video. I just want to know, what's your response?
Get them out of here.
Look at all the kids.
What's your response to the allegations? Is there fraud going on here, and is there children? That's all.
We are aware.
So this was today at the Quality Leering Center. Full of kids, super busy, tons of people around, no fraud to be seen. It's a fully operational Leering Center. But this is also what they said today, the actual government.
Of a video that's being circulated that has gained local and national attention about child care centers in Minnesota. While we have questions about some of the methods that were used in the video, we do take the concerns that the video raises about fraud very seriously. Each of the facilities mentioned in the video has been visited at least once in the last 6 months as part of our typical licensing process.
Okay.
And in fact, our staff are out in the community today to visit each of these sites again so that we can look into the concerns that were raised in the video.
Okay.
So I won't go into any detail about whether or not any of these have any open investigations. I will share that our team was notified that Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago. And I believe the details that were given at that time were
Dude, the Somalis cannot keep their story straight. This is the craziest twist of all time.
around space concerns, and that's what was shared. The previous one I mentioned that had been closed some time ago was Mako.
Right. So I hope you understand the level of retard we're dealing with. The Quality Leering Center was scheduled on the website to be open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. After Nick Shirley showed up, they changed the time and changed their story to be open from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m., they flooded it with kids. There were so many kids at the Quality Leering Center. All right? So many kids at the Quality Leering Center from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Then it turned out that the license of the Leering Center was only operational till 6 p.m., so it was fraudulent anyway. Then the government came out to say that the reason why the Leering Center was empty in Nick Shirley's video is because it closed down a week ago. Okay? So a week ago it closed down. Nick Shirley went there. It was empty because according to the government it closed down. Then the day after, the Somalis flooded it with kids, making up fake hours to trick people into thinking it's operational. This is the level of bullshit we're dealing with. This is the 67 IQ scam in action. And this is just one Leering Center, bro. This is one Leering Center. I'm not even talking about the rest of this garbage. I'm not talking about the rest of the country, okay? You have to understand, bro. This, according to the government, this closed down a week ago. According to the Somalis, it's still active. But when Nick Shirley showed up, it was empty. They changed the time block to be later in the day. And then, while you have the government responding to the allegation saying that it closed down a week ago, you have Somalis bringing in infinite Somali children to make it look like the Leering Center was active. This is the greatest storyline of all time. I leered so much from this video. I hope you also leered a lot. Definitely subscribe for more leering. It's truly diabolical. The amount of leering that I had was honestly insane. So over here, this is David, the guy that did the collaborative video with Nick Shirley, and he is personally suing, which I'll save for a different video, but he went to 50 Somali daycares on his own, and none of them have children.
Said, hey, I'm just wondering, I've got a grandson who's looking for childcare, and I wonder if this might be a good facility. And they said, no, we're all full. And they had the door open, and I looked, and there were no kids. There was like a couch and a table with a couple chairs. And I said, well, are the kids out back playing, or what kind of place is this? And the guy said, you go. And he almost pushed me out the door, and then he followed me down the street to my car. And that's when I said, wait a minute, there's something going on here. And that's got to be maybe 5 years ago. This fraud is so massive. When the dust settles on this, it's going to be found to be the largest fraud in the history of the country and probably the world. It's that big. The ones that I've gotten data on, they average about $2.5 million a year, and a lot of them will say they have anywhere from 80 to 120 children. I've been to literally 40 or 50 of these childcare, and there never has been a single child at any one of them ever. Morning, afternoon, evening. Some of them say they're open till 10 o'clock at night. I go there in the morning, I go there in the afternoon, I go there at 9 o'clock at night. Nobody. There are no kids there ever.
Yeah. So that's our tax dollars at work. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to leer, but we also have to understand that Charlie Kirk called it. Charlie Kirk literally called it. Dude, I'm gonna miss this man. This was less than a month before he was murdered. About 5% of Minneapolis is Somalian, but already 1 in 3 city residents living in public housing are Somali. 1/3. All right, so we are funding them. Now, the first Somali immigrant to chair the Minneapolis Public Housing Authority pled guilty to stealing more than $7.5 million in taxpayer dollars. As a leading figure in the massive Feeding Our Future fraud, dozens of people, overwhelmingly from the Somali community, stole more than $50 million, while Tim Walz's government did nothing to stop them. After all, that would have been racist. This is lunacy. America is one of the most desirable nations in human history. Instead of admitting useful people who make the country better, we have admitted millions who are immediately going into the dole, either overtly or by stealing it from the public. Democrats enable this because they don't see America as a real country. They see it as a pile of money for their clients to loot. And now he's dead. I wish Charlie Kirk could have been around to see what the Quality Leering Center actually was all about. Gentlemen, ladies, Happy New Year. This is the year of the crusade. God is good. Inshallah, as they say in Somalia, and also in Minneapolis, and also in England. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.
Hey there friends, how's it going? I want to show you the best zombie game you may or may not have seen already. It's called Project Zomboid, and it's not much to look at first glance, but it is so good. The last time we played as The Man, and we were going to do a live from start to finish. Then I died immediately, so we restarted as The Man 2. We found a quaint little spot in the city, got some basic supplies, and somehow survived what seemed like an impossible situation to get out of. I stood on some glass in my bare feet and I was bleeding out. Yet another episode of Kevin Does Dumb Stuff. Zombie edition. So this is The Man 2. This is where I keep my stuff, including a loaded pistol on the ground. This is my old vehicle. It's kind of smashed up. I killed a lot of zombies with this. It's currently just a little tunnel you have to go through to get into my house. And these are all the zombies it killed. I want to repair my machete, but for that, I think I'm gonna need duct tape or adhesive tape. So I might swing by like a hardware store or something. That seems like a good idea. And honestly, I could use more defenses, so building things would be a good idea in general. Perhaps I could even build a friend. Like, it's so lonely here, other than these corpses. I forgot I had broken into the side apartments here as well. Okay, so this is where I live, above the pawn store. And honestly, I need to get in here. There might be something good. It might be worth disassembling this door and taking a look. There's a bar here, which I need to raid. I want loads of bourbon for Molotov cocktails. And then the hardware store just up the street. So I'm in a pretty good neighborhood. Oh, look at this. Fun Extreme, mini golf, bowling, arcade, and laser tag. I should go there. I got bitten. Scavenging for laser guns. It was worth it. Okay, morning is here. We're heading out into the open world. My clothes look a little worse for wear as well. Maybe I should look for replacements. Or, you know, wash them once. Oh, now we're talking. We got some new camo shorts here. Sorry, you probably can't see me now. Like, not due to the camo pants, just the lights are off. Let me turn them on. There, all better. And a new leather jacket. There we go, I'm stylish again. Can't really make out the writing on my vest. You might think it said police, but it actually...
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a theory. I have a theory that calling him a massive YouTuber simultaneously seems like the right thing to do, and also kind of a joke, but he's definitely a YouTuber that I'm sure you've heard of. Is doing something a little naughty on this website, doing something he's not supposed to be doing, and I haven't seen anybody else talk about it, so... here we are. The term generational run is overused. I really feel like it is. I feel like everything these days is a generational run, and it really kind of waters down the effectiveness of the phrase for when it's actually needed. And holy shit, I don't think it's ever been more needed than today. Ned Fulmer, a name that I would say I wasn't really expecting to say again on this channel, but every time I've made a video on the guy, I think I've said that, so you know what? I'm gonna stop saying it. Ned Fulmer is a man who is currently on a generational run of self-induced public embarrassment, and I think with what we're talking about today, the man has reached his peak. Now, if you don't know who Ned Fulmer is, I'll give you a quick rundown because I feel like knowing the context surrounding all of this is really important, because if you don't have the last like 3 or 4 months of information, the generational run claim is not going to make as much sense. So real quick, Ned Fulmer is a former member of the Try Guys YouTube channel. The Try Guys YouTube channel was an offshoot of BuzzFeed. It was huge for a long time. If you can't tell, the channel was a bunch of guys trying different things, and Ned Fulmer was like one of the hosts. That was until it came out that Ned was cheating on his wife with a producer of the show. This led to Ned being kicked off the Try Guys channel. It was a huge controversy for a while. Everybody was talking about it, but after like a month, it seemed like that was sort of the end of it. Ned disappeared from the internet, the Try Guys moved on, and everybody thought that was it. That was until Ned returned to the internet with an announcement that he was going to be doing a podcast, and the first episode was going to be him and his wife talking about the fact that he cheated on her and destroyed their family. Once that podcast came out, it was quickly dubbed by many great scholars, myself included, the world's worst fucking podcast. of all time. It was basically like an hour-long couples-led therapy session where it was basically just like the wife saying, "You destroyed everything I know. I hate you. I'll never forgive you. How could you do this to me? You ruined my life." And Ned being like, "Yeah, well, I mean, whoopsies." It was fucking awful. It was a weird exploitative money grab of this horrible thing that Ned had done, and obviously it was not really received all that well. But this was sort of Ned's way of marking his return to the internet. After this podcast, he released like a shitty response video where he sort of missed the point of every single piece of criticism sent his way, basically just like made himself the victim, and in the meantime he's been uploading videos to his main channel and been uploading more of those podcast episodes. Now the last time I talked about old Nedward on this channel was a little bit over a month ago when he released this video titled "I Have MS," where he talks about being diagnosed with MS and the struggles he's faced, and that's like fine. You know, it'd be one thing if that was all it was, but at the end of the video he literally breaks down into tears and falls to his knees and starts crying on the side of the street, and it just seemed like a really weird ploy for empathy, like him trying to change the opinion of him on the internet into kind of like guilting people into being nicer to him, and well, it did not work. But like I said, that was the most recent time I've talked about Ned, and I figured at the time that that would be the last, but recently he's been doing some shit that has forced my hand. Now I'm pretty sure I actually mentioned this in my video about his MS video, but on his main channel, his Ned Fulmer channel, his metrics have been very, very suspicious ever since he came back. And in my humbled YouTuber opinion, I think that he's buying his views. Now I can't necessarily like prove this beyond a shadow of a doubt. I can't like find an invoice of him buying views, but I've been on YouTube for a real long time. I've had multiple channels, and the kind of engagement that his videos are getting makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, and him buying views really seems to be the only reasonable explanation. For example, his most recent video titled "Ranking Every Taco in Los Angeles $1 to $38," as I'm recording this, is currently sitting at over 400,000 views. And that's a lot of views. That is an unbelievably solid number to be getting on your videos, especially if you can do that consistently. The problem is that with 416,000 views right now, that same video has 242 likes and 49 comments. Now, before we get into those numbers, I went around and I got some comparables, just so you can kind of get an idea of what we're dealing with here. Here's a video from my channel with 405,000 views, and it has 19,000 likes and 2,181 comments. Here's a video from Atozy with 415,000 views, so basically the same exact number as Ned's video. It has 12,000 likes and 2,027 comments. And you know, just for shits and giggles, here's one from Critical that he uploaded a fucking hour ago with 146,000 views, already at 16,000 likes and 3,434 comments. Now you might say, August, that's the commentary niche. That's different than the trying taco niche, and I agree. So I typed in trying tacos onto YouTube, and I found this video with 480,000 views, pretty similar to Ned's, and it has 13,000 likes and 2,598 comments. And last but not least, this is a video I figured I'd just throw in for funsies, you know, no real particular reason. This is a video from the Try Guys titled "Try Guys Eat Every Taco in LA," which has 1.1 million views, 35,000 likes, and 1,041 comments, which I will admit, obviously, 1.1 million is far more than Ned's 416,000, but if you divide 416,000 by 1.1 million, you get about 0.37, and if you multiply 35,000 by 0.37, you get about 13,500, which lines up with everything else we've been seeing. So what's the moral of this story? Well, the moral of this story is that Ned's metrics make no fucking sense whatsoever, and it's like this on his entire channel. If you go to his video, Chefs Roast My 4-foot-tall, croquembouche? I don't know. I'm not French. 189,000 views with 131 likes and 98 comments. Now, the comments themselves are another point of suspicion. If you go through his comments, there is this one specific commenter who I can almost guarantee is a bot. It's this D Junior D1 who has over 100 comments on Ned's channel, and they say pretty much the exact same thing to every single comment that is even slightly negative. I would genuinely really not be surprised if like 25% of all the comments on his channel are from this one account. So the comment numbers are skewed too, but we'll just take them at face value for today. On the I Have MS video, we're looking at 242,000 views, 414 likes, and 450 comments, which this is like the least suspicious one, and I think that's just because all the comments are people making fun of him. Here's this one, I Tried Professional Wrestling, with 272,000 views, 240 likes, and 322 comments. And these videos, like the ones released a month or two ago or more, are kind of benefiting from like him still being a person to make fun of for the time. So most of these comments are people just like dogging on him. But even then, like still the numbers don't make sense. He's got this one called Can I Survive Fighter Jet G-Forces with 1 million views, 876 likes, and 410 comments. I mean, the comments making fun of him have almost as many likes, if not more in some cases, as the video itself. Now you might see all this and you might think, well, obviously nobody likes him, so maybe they're just not liking the video. And sure, that could maybe make sense if there were more comments, but even then, part of what makes all this so suspicious is, like I said, I've made multiple videos on net at this point, which means over the last few months, I've been on his channel multiple times. And I've seen all these videos with hundreds of thousands of views have like 3,000 views after being uploaded for a week. I come back to the channel a couple weeks later, and suddenly these videos that were stuck at like 2,000 views for a week have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. And if you look at the graphs of how these videos accumulate their views, it just doesn't really make sense. Now, specifically for this video, I bought a fucking Social Blade subscription because that's the only like service I know that offers this kind of stuff. Because I want to show you a couple of the graphs of Ned's videos and then compare them to other videos so you can kind of just get an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, Social Blade's view graphs kind of suck ass, but like I said, it's kind of the best option here. For some reason, it never really lets you look at the first couple of days a video was uploaded. For example, this I Have MS video was uploaded on the 23rd, but it kind of stops at the 25th. No clue why that would be, but you can still see what I'm talking about here. We have the first week of this video performing not so great. I mean, from the 23rd to the 29th, he gets 24,000 views. And then suddenly it starts to go up. It goes up to 67,000 views, 67, over the next 2 days. And then it kind of flatlines again. And then for no discernible reason, it jumps from 93,000 to 211,000 in 1 day. And if we go down between the day that happened, that was between December 5th and December 6th, you will see he gained 117,000 views in 1 day and 81 likes. That is not how the YouTube algorithm works. He gained 81 likes and 5 comments. That is almost a 0% engagement rate effectively. The YouTube algorithm is not gonna reward that. And you can make the argument that it drops off afterward, but again, that's not really how the algorithm tends to work. My point is, it would never be given this boost where it had the potential to gain over 100,000 views in a day based off the previous day's performance. Like between the 4th and the 5th, if we go down, we're looking at 13 likes and 16 comments, which doesn't even really make sense. But like, YouTube's not throwing your video into the algorithm based off that performance. If we look at the professional wrestling one, from what we can get from Social Blade, which again, this shit is awful, should be a fucking crime to charge for this, but if we look at the view graph on that one, it's pretty bad. I mean, like, the views are literally stair-stepping every other day in 50,000 view increments, multiple weeks after it was uploaded. Like, again, your video is not getting 10,000 views in the first 2 weeks it was uploaded with absolutely 0 engagement, and then getting tossed into the YouTube algorithm in this weird, like, every other day we're gonna throw you some views format. That's just not how it works. The YouTube algorithm is not this like mystical thing people pretend it is. It's not. If your video is getting a lot of views and those viewers are sticking around and liking and commenting, YouTube is gonna keep pushing that video as hard as it can. If it falls off immediately after it gets thrown into the algorithm like all these videos are doing, the video is just going to plateau. This stair-stepping is very, very suspicious. It's the same thing with this Croak and Boosh one, absolutely no views for weeks, and then suddenly it stair-steps in like 50 to 100,000 view increments, always with a day in between the jumps. Hello, August from the future here, real quick. Just noticed this while I was editing this video. This Croak and Boosh video, the day it plateaus, it actually loses views. 9 views are taken away from this video, yet it still bangs things in the YouTube algorithm the next day. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyways, back to old me. This chef's roast my $1,000 cheese wheel pasta is a real funny example. Again, the same thing. You know, very stagnated views, and then all of a sudden this jump, and then between December 28th and the 29th, this video literally gets 10 fucking views. 10 people view this video in one day after a big algorithm boost, apparently. No likes, no comments. Effectively, nobody on planet Earth sees this video or interacts with it, and I'm expected to believe that the next day YouTube's like, fuck yes, let's send her back into the algorithm, and it gets another 20,000 views. Like, this is just not how this shit works. If we compare this to that video I was talking about earlier of my own, you can see that, like, in a way, it's almost like an inverted example of what the graphs of Ned's videos do. The first day is its best day because that's when all the people who watch all my videos watch it. That helps push it out into the algorithm. It does pretty well, but it doesn't do as well as it does the first day, so YouTube pushes it a little less hard, and that cycle continues and continues until YouTube figures it's not really worth pushing it all that hard anymore, and it kind of flattens out. It does not flatten out from the beginning and then just randomly decide to go crazy. Now, for transparency, I can show you a video of mine that I know has kind of done that, just to show you the difference. This is a video I uploaded ages ago back in 2021, and I remember this happening because it was my first, like, real viral video. As you can see based off this graph, for the first, like, 4 months, it gets like 40,000 views. And then for some reason, probably because this is around the time my channel really blew up, YouTube's like, let's push this video, see if it does well. And in late June, it goes from about 50,000 views to nearly 1 million in about a week. Now, from a distance, like zoomed out like this graph kind of looks like the ones that Ned's videos have. But if we zoom into this region, like where the blow up actually happens, the difference becomes pretty obvious. So as you can see, it's getting a few thousand views a day at this point, and then it jumps up to 6,000, which is about double the rate it was getting, which, you know, is a little indicator to YouTube, like, hey, maybe this video could do well. It pushes it a little harder. It gets 12,000 views in a day, then 18,000, then 65,000, then 147,000, 171,000, 168,000, nearly 200,000, and from that point it starts to taper off. YouTube pushed it really hard, then they figure, okay, the audience that wants to see this has probably seen it, that's why views are dropping. It doesn't need as much priority in the algorithm. Now, final thing I want to say here is you might be finding yourself going back and forth between these two graphs and thinking, well, honestly, they don't look all that different. And your intuition is correct, but that's because the graph I'm showing you and the graphs of Ned's views are two different things. The graphs that correspond to Ned's videos that I've been showing you are total views. And obviously, unless YouTube goes in and manually removes views, your total views aren't ever going to go down. So the days where you don't get views are just going to be a flat line. The graph I just showed you, this one, is of daily views. So if I got 0 views on one day, it would drop down to the bottom. I graphed out that wrestling video like this, and this is what that looks like. There's no gradual increase of views that leads to a flattening out at the top where YouTube's like, okay, this is the limit, and then it tapers off. It is jumps between 50,000 views in a day and 0 views in a day, and it's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth in suspiciously consistent increments that don't really make any sense for traditional YouTube video growth. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't prove that Ned is buying views. I'm not claiming as a fact that he is, but in my opinion, nothing else would really make sense. These metrics seem fake. If it was one video on his channel, okay, whatever, maybe you'd find a fluke like that, but I mean, for every single video on his channel to have hundreds of thousands of views and comparatively no likes and no comments and these weird, unnatural, inorganic growth patterns, it just doesn't make any sense. To me, there's only one real obvious explanation, and I feel like any YouTuber or anybody who just spends a decent amount of time on YouTube in general would agree. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? Like I've been saying, I cannot prove without a doubt that what I'm saying is true, so I'm not going to claim that it's the truth. I'm not going to claim that it's a fact, but my goodness, nothing else makes sense. These metrics make absolutely no sense. The way these videos are growing makes absolutely no sense. Nothing about anything involving Ned Fulmer and his views and his metrics and the way that his channel is operating right now makes any sense whatsoever. I don't know what could be his motivation for doing something like this, if he is, so I'm not going to sit here and speculate, but I mean, this just seems so blatant. You know what I mean? I really don't know. I don't understand what could be going on here. Like I've been saying, I feel like only one thing makes any sense.
I'll be back.
All right, everybody. I'm out for now. Have a good one.
Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders. Try to relax your anus. Your anus.